Hello and welcome back to Starmade. My name is Rabenschild and we are playing on the Squadron server. The last time we saw this ship in battle, and you can see I moved it from this port to this thing up here. I want to build another dock up here on the station to be able to dock bigger ships to it, and don't know, maybe have something that is a bit shaped like, don't know, an H on the end of this here, and then be able to maybe park, don't know, 4 ships in here or something like that. I'm not sure how that will work right now. I have the feeling that the placement of my docking ports in the middle of the ship here might not have been the best decision. But again, this ship is the reason why I'm playing Starmade. So I will keep working on this, but for now I decided that I need a new ship, a smaller ship, a fast attack vessel or something like that. A ship that I can lead into battle as part of a fleet, maybe, when I'm around with this ship, so I can don't know, I can have finally a fleet that comes with me into battle. Some people wished for that, and I already went and let me go into this build block. I'm testing out stuff. I want to change the appearance of my anti-missile turrets, and this is what I came up with for now. They are a bit longer than the missile turrets or anti-missile turrets I have right now, but they're a bit not so wide. They have the same height. I think that's the smallest, at least I can go. I know that there are people out there that can plan this a lot better, but I think I really like it with the Bobby AI in the front and all that stuff. So, but again, today we want to set up basically the first part of a new ship. It's just basically the scaffolding to then build a ship around it. I might want to try to go and test out what a lot of other people do, build a ship basically from the inside out. Landscape, for example, does that. He's mainly doing that, going and building, okay, I need this, I want to have this, and this needs to be there, and then he builds the shape around it. I recently watched Space Battleship Yamato, and I kind of got inspired by the shapes of these ships, and I kind of want to have a bit smaller ship that at least looks a bit like these ships. We will see how that works out. I absolutely don't know how that could work out. We will still go with this military theme, not too detailed, no glowing outsides, no these spacey alien type, or not alien looking ships, more like spacey alien looking ships. I'm not a big fan of them, so I will go for a military battleship style again. I did that with this ship. I recently saw some plans of the original ship that this one is based on, and I realized that I did some things not to the scale I wanted to have it. But on the other hand, I'm using this all as inspiration and not as I want to have it look exactly like this. But yeah, I want to basically switch now between 2 ships. I still want to build on this one, and then I want to build on the new one. I will go and set up a new core. Let me switch my cargo, because my because my shipyard is still not ready yet, I decided to do another build basically outside of the shipyard and not have it not have it built inside of a shipyard. The shipyards I heard from other Star Squadron members are at the moment not the best way to build stuff. But what I normally do is I build on server. Some members build outside of the server and then spawn in the ships by adding the resources to it and all that stuff. What I mostly do is go and build on server. That's what I like the most. Go in and have the structure built basically. I don't like to build in creative and then spawn that in with resources. I mainly take the ships and build them here. Mostly by hand, slow process, but we get along, I would say. Good. Let me start by laying out the first few blocks. Define the size of the whole ship. So I want to go for around 30 to 40 meters wide and maybe even a bit smaller. 30 sounds better than... we will see. Okay, we have a width of 15 and we will go and add a bit more and let us go for 39 odd numbers. Build in odd numbers. That's a thing I always do. Let me put some rail dockers on the outside. I will anchor the ship to the station. That's easier, so I don't have to risk this ship flying away on me. This part is docked to the station now, so I can start to build now. I can get to the core. These, again, docking ports might get put somewhere else in the future because, again, I told you, this placement might have been not the best. The best place. They're not placed in the best way here on the sides. Okay, the length. This ship is over 400 meters or 400 blocks long. This one should be smaller. So I want to go for 200 meters. I don't know what class that is in the end and all that stuff. I'm not going to pretend that I know anything about the sizes of military ships or something like that. Don't know. We will maybe call it a cruiser or something. Or don't know, destroyer. We will see. Good. We have a length of 40 and then I want to have the core far to the back of the ship. That's what I have here too. The core is somewhere in here so I can protect it, and it has this ship always points or should always point the nose towards the enemy, and so I have a whole ship between the core and the enemy. So that there is no easy core destruction unless the enemy comes from the sides, but these sides are heavily armored, and so I want to do it the same way here. Block placement or the core placement is not important anymore after the guys from Shine switched out the way how turning works in the ships. So the ships now turn around the center of mass and not around the core anymore. So now I can have the core wherever I want it, and that means that we can hide it somewhere in the back where we can get to it and build a safe room or an armored room around it or something like that. 200 meters, around 200 meters. If it gets a bit longer, then that is okay. We will do the same with power in a second, so that I can have some power on the ship, maybe also add some thrusters, so if we need to move it, we can move it. Maybe I can get the odd numbers. Maybe I can get the shipyard online in due time, and then we can finish or work more on the ship in the shipyard. That would be nice. Okay, so the power. One thing I always, or I never really took a look at, is how the power stuff works. So power, for the power we need basically how to describe that? We need to have a cross-shaped and then go a bit into the height. So it's hard to explain. We want to spread the power blocks over the different axes in the game. So we want to have a long axis or a long power block axis along the middle of the ship. Then we also want to incorporate the whole width of the ship and maybe also the height of the ship. And that's one thing I want to take a look at. Maybe we can even define the height a bit better or now, so that we can place power blocks and don't have to and can then build basically the rest of the ship around it. You hear that I'm not too keen. My weekend was not the best weekend in my life, and so I wanted to do something that is a bit laid back and not too in-depth, not too complicated, I would say. Okay, we will start here and then go to the back at the blocks over the whole length. We can maybe do that way, yes. And we will just, okay, we can place 100 blocks at a time. This is not 100, or? If this ship is 200 meters long, then we should be done now. Okay, we are. I miscalculated that. Okay, the width of the whole ship will be used. So we might have some bumps on the outside if we don't use the full length or full width of the ship for the armor on the outside. So if it gets sleeker or something like that. But we define this to be the place where the whole, or where the ship should be the widest. If we keep these docking ports here, this is a good placement for this, so we have we have used up the whole width of the ship here. No, I will later remove these docking ports, put them somewhere else, so that nobody can come in from here and go right to the core. This is, again, is at the moment very temporary, this docking alignment here, or docking alignment. Man, I'm not, it's so weird. I'm not in the right mindset at the moment to do stuff like that. Maybe, but I wanted to start, that you can see the start. That's the thing I most of the time miss. I miss showing you the start of something like that, and so I wanted to do that now and give you at least this part, so that you that you are not surprised by, oh, here's the framework of a new ship. You didn't see anything of me building the framework. Okay, the whole height, I want to have it higher on the top. So there's a distinct, basically, top of this ship, and we will make it not too high on the bottom. So how high should we do it? At the moment we're at 19 meters. I will go higher up. I will go higher up. So 26, 27, and then we will go just a few blocks down. Most of the engines and all that stuff will be hidden somewhere, and I tend to fill my ship with stuff. So if I have, for example, in some of the parts on this ship, I have hollow spaces, and normally I fill them up with, don't know, shields or thrusters or something like that. Power storage is another thing. I always tell you that. Use one power storage for the whole ship, so have only one power storage system. Even if you have power storage there and there, then use a line, for example, through the whole ship to connect that, to have one system. Then you get bonies on your power storage because, yeah, you only have one system, a lot of blocks. No. Do that. Keep that in mind whenever you build ships. Okay, we will have... Okay, we will have the bridge somewhere up here, and this might go even higher a bit. Unlike I have it with this ship, this ship has the bridge on its side and has asymmetry in it. We will try to go and build this one with the ship or the bridge up top, and don't have the bridge asymmetrical on the side here, for example. I want to go for a naval, the look of a naval ship, basically. So, and we could even go a bit higher. In the Battleship Yamato movie, I watched the live action movie. I know that there is an anime series, but I might have seen one episode or so. Anime series don't interest me too much, but I watched the live action movie, and that is a completely different animal. It's nice, but it is Japanese, let's say it that way. Japanese culture has some, seems to me, I don't want to step onto anybody and say something that, don't know, my Japanese viewers might not like or something like that, but they have this weird, not weird, but they have these very liking for fulfilling duty, even if it's your, don't know, even if it's your death. And it's so hard because in this movie, they X off all the main characters very, very fast, and it's a really, really hard to watch when you see, hey, I like this guy, why? Oh no, he gets killed off because he has to fulfill his duty and rescue this, rescue that, and we will stay here and cover your back. And I don't like that when Western movies do that. In this movie, I don't have other examples here, but in this movie it is really crazy because, man, the amount of people that survived this movie, hui, is not too high. but it looks good. It's nice to see this World War II area battleship with laser guns flying through space. Cool thing. Good. Okay, I will add these 3 lines here, and you can see that I'm not utilizing the advanced build menu as I should. These 3 lines push our power output to already 6,000 electric units per second. That's good, I would say. Again, this ship is not too big. I tend to use more power storage than the electric output of the reactors itself. So that's why I tend to stop at some point and just say, okay, it's not worth to add more power output. It's easier to have a big, for me at least, it's easier to have a big power storage that the systems can take from, and then when the power is not needed anymore, it can just refill the power storage itself. For example, this ship has, I think, 1.9 million power output, but it has 80 million power storage, and it gets more because I'm putting out lines and then adding more power storage over time. And that's how I solve my power issues. Good. Let me do this also. And then we start to lay out some power storage. I want to keep the power storage again as one system. That's one thing you always should do. And then I think I also kind of define where I want to have the thrusters. So I want to have the ability to put turrets on the back here, one up here, one down here, and maybe 1 or 2 turrets in the front and 1 or 2 down here. I want to center the missile defense around the core somehow. So the core and the bridge will have some missile defense around them. I'm thinking about 4 turrets on each side, and so 4 up here, 4 down here, and on the other side just mirrored. And then have turrets. I'm not sure what turrets yet. the Yamato thing uses laser turrets, so there's a big beam coming from the turrets. The last time I built a second ship, I tried to build a beam frigate or something like that. I don't see myself using beams a lot because I have the weird feeling that they are not too good for what I want from them. So maybe you have some ideas for that and can say, okay, no, you should use these and these beams to get most efficient output. I tend to use beam and beam and then an effect. I didn't decide for an effect yet. Explosion would be bad. Maybe punch through, but I think the beam itself has a punch through effect, so I'm not sure what I will use there. Maybe I go for cannons again and then use some missiles. Maybe use swarmer missiles or something like that. Not too sure. One thing I want to do is definitely go with a good thruster amount. So this ship should be very, very fast. And one thing I just want to have, because it's neat, I want to have a front firing beam. That's maybe the only beam I want to put in some beam in the front that maybe hits hard. We will see. We will see how that works out. Good. Oh, I'm running long. I'm rambling. That's not a good thing. I should stop here. Okay, let me place some blocks for power storage, just to be able to achieve power storage. Again, I tend to go and build it in a way where I can lay it through the whole ship and then make branches from this to all the power storage I have in the ship. So this is my plan for the future. I might want to build in the meantime a bit on this ship and give it scaffolding. So in the next episode we can take a look a bit deeper into what I have in mind when I'm talking about that. And you maybe can suggest some ideas for weapon systems. You heard what I have in mind, and don't know, maybe you have some ideas for what I could do, and then give me suggestions. That would be neat. Okay, long line to the front so that I can spread it out from there. I will put around this area, I will put some more of it, and again then maybe spread it out into areas where there is space for more energy storage. But we can't forget shields and. Good people, I think that's all for today. I hope you liked it anyways, although it was a bit laid back and rambly, but you got some ideas how I start my ship builds. Good people, I hope to see you in the next episode, hopefully on Thursday, I will say. Good people, I will see you then, hopefully.